There's a version of you that operates at peak performance, and you've never met him. Most people never reach peak performance, not because they're lazy, but because they just don't know how to. Just a couple of years ago, I was among those people. I had no discipline, poor attention span, and constant brain fog. I was basically just giving a 3 out of 10 effort in everything that I did, and just telling myself to try harder was not working. But now all of that has changed. I wake up at 4 a.m, get about 4 or 5 hours of deep work in, I train martial arts, I lift weights and read multiple books a month. It is this peak performance functioning that allowed me to become a software engineer at Fortune 500 companies and become the best performing student in my engineering program. In this video, I'm going to share with you 2 core principles that allowed me to go from performing at 3 out of 10 to now performing at 10 out of 10. So let's get right into them. First of all, let me quickly define what I mean by peak performance. To me, it is the ability to perform a task with maximal focus and effort. Now, for your body to exert maximal focus and effort, it needs to have its foundations of health right. I have broken down this foundation of health into 3 core components. The very first component is your sleep. Back when I was a 3 out of 10 performer, I would go to bed at random times. I would have a large meal just before sleeping. Then I would wake up getting less than 6 hours of sleep each night. I would spend the entire day in a dimly lit room and get no sunlight at all. In short, my sleep habits and sleep quality were abysmal, and it is no surprise that I had brain fog all the time. My motivation levels were low and I would feel depressed. But I have now started taking my sleep extremely seriously. I fix the time for bed, I get plenty of sunlight during the day, I eat at least 90 minutes before bed, I avoid bright lights at night, and now I wake up pretty early in the day, naturally, even without an alarm. Just mastering your sleep alone is going to skyrocket your mental and physical performance. And if you still need further motivation to upgrade the quality of your sleep, here are just 2 of the hundreds of functions that sleep performs. The first is that it literally clears out the toxins in your brain that accumulate during the day when you're actually focusing on things. Secondly, it helps calibrate the secretion of vital hormones like testosterone, serotonin, adrenaline. So if you're not getting high quality sleep, your hormonal profile is going to be whack, which is why your mood just feels so volatile, and then you have all these toxins in your head that are not cleared, so there's no way you can access peak performance with such major limitations. The second component of the health layer is your diet. You must have heard the saying, right? You are what you eat. I can testify that this saying is 100% legit. Back when I was a 3 out of 10 performer, I was eating processed food. I would eat at random times in the day and snack all day long, and because of this, I kind of felt drowsy whenever it came to doing something cognitively demanding. Like I would legit read the same paragraph of a book over and over again, and I would still have a hard time comprehending its meaning. But now, I have completely revamped my diet. I now only eat whole, natural, single ingredient foods. I fast multiple times a week, and I eat my meals at fixed times alone. And this has made a world of difference in my life. I feel sharp, my joints no longer hurt, my mood feels great. The final and probably the most ignored component of the health layer is exercise. If I were to just search for the benefits of exercise, there's probably not a single of your life that doesn't benefit positively. Your sleep, your mood, your cognitive function, your memory, your cardiovascular health, your bone and muscular strength, your immune system, and I could go on and on and on. Each time that you exercise, your brain is hit with a cocktail of neurochemicals, and it is just bathing in them and nourishing itself. So if you're serious about accessing peak physical or mental performance, exercising is non-negotiable. If you have mastered your sleep, your diet, and your exercise, you are going to see a real boost to your energy levels and your ability to focus and apply effort. However, just because you have these resources doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to apply them the right way. You could have perfectly optimized health, but yet end up procrastinating, scrolling, and playing video games all day. This is why the next component of peak performance is the structure layer, which gives you direction for the application of your resources. Think about the various elite performers from different domains of life. All of them have one thing in common. they have structured their day such that they can spend large amounts of time and effort working on their craft. They live their day in a very structured fashion and not just impulsively. Take Alex Hormozi for example, the face of business on YouTube. He dedicates the first 4 to 6 hours of his day purely dedicated to deep focused work and has been following this structure for years. Additionally, he time blocks the rest of the day and knows exactly what he's supposed to do at what time. On the other hand, elite MMA fighters have around 2 to 3 training sessions a day and they follow that structure day after day, week after week, fight camp after fight camp. You basically need to craft a routine for yourself. One that is repeatable, and then follow it for days, weeks, months, and even years. Let your progress compound, and you're eventually going to unlock peak performance in that domain. The second thing that these elite performers have in common is that they are not sedated by instant gratification. Because instant gratification provides you an alternative, easier way to access pleasure. Take the example of Conor McGregor. Before he went into the rabbit hole of instant gratification, he was an elite martial artist, super charismatic and funny on the mic. Like, listen to him speak in this video. He sounds like a philosopher.
I feel to be at the pinnacle of any game, in any, whatever you do, you've got to be a little bit gone to it. You're not all there. You've got to be almost insane to your craft. Not a lot of people can understand that. That's why I don't know about nothing else. I do not pay attention to nothing else. There was games of football on yesterday, there was rugby, there was this, there was that. And like normal society is like, let's talk about this and let's engage in this. And I can't do it. I just don't, people are talking to me and in my head I'm counting something. I'm counting up a number or I'm knee deep in a sequence on the mat or on the feet. That's my life, sequences and numbers, nothing else. I cannot pay attention to nothing else.
But now he's a completely different man, a shell of himself who hasn't won a fight in years, and I would credit his demise to instant gratification. And frankly, Conor isn't the only person. There are thousands of famous athletes and probably millions of regular people who went from being elite performers early on, but then instant gratification in the form of porn, alcohol, video games, doom scrolling overtook them. So what you need to do is live a mindful life. Understand that there is no such thing as free pleasure. There is always a price to pay, and more often than not, that price is paid by the future you. As always, in case no one has told you this today, I am rooting for you.